guys, so today I am making a video on my first Oconus experience with the Army. So what actually made me want to do this video, I have been talking to a couple of friends about, us living in Alaska, whatever, and all of our experiences. And of course, if you don't already know, an Oconus military move is if you PCS to either another country other than the United States, or if you PCS to Alaska or Hawaii. I so happen to have gotten Alaska. So this is literally just gonna be a small video of my experiences, how I feel about it, just in case for new people who has never PCS out of the United States. Technically, I'm still in the United States, but when I be looking at on my Snapchat at the map and it's like Alaska is all the way over here and all my friends are all over here, it's like I feel like I'm not in the United States anymore, but I am. But yeah, just a video explaining my experiences, how I feel about the move. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. So my experience with my first Oconus move. If anybody has not watched my other YouTube videos, as I detail my military experience, first duty station was Fort Bragg, which is in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Then, well, near Fayetteville, North Carolina. Next was Fort Benning, so we're right there by Columbus, Georgia. And then now we're in Fort Wainwright, Alaska. So I will say, anybody ask me, how is it, living all the way in Alaska? How was the move? Truthful experience, the move was hell. Yes, it was hell. It was not that bad when we moved from Fort Bragg to Fort Benning, because all we had to do was pack up a U-Haul and drive 7 hours, because we ended up getting a house to rent in Fort Mitchell, Alabama, which is literally like 10 minutes away from Fort Benning. So we ended up getting a house there. We traveled, I think, like the month before. My husband had like some leave time. We traveled like the month before, went scoping out houses, and finally found one in Fort Mitchell. Then we went back, a couple weeks later, packed up all our stuff in the U-Haul and drove those whole 7 hours. Now, this one, going to Alaska, this one was extremely stressful because we had to fly with 4 kids. Some people drive to Alaska. I think that's cool. I have 4 children. Maybe if I didn't have children, if it was just me and my husband, I definitely would have rather drove to Alaska just to see the sights. But no, 4 girls, that was not gonna happen. We flew. So we basically drove to Atlanta. Then we flew from Atlanta to Los Angeles, had like a 4-hour layover there. Then we flew from Los Angeles to Seattle, had a layover there. And then finally we got to Fairbanks. November 3rd, 2021, we got there like, well, here, what I'm talking about there, here, like at midnight. Coming here, the hotel stay, all that, very stressful. I think a part of the military where you go through a lot of experiences and you're like, okay, I know what to do next PCS. I know what to do, not to do the next PS. This one, which got us, is that GTC card. So I know a lot of people know about that. That card is basically what you use for travel, to help you pay for like your hotel, food, car rental, all that stuff. Yeah, we ended up with one. What we didn't know is that they ended up giving us like a set amount, which was like $5,000. So, I think it was $7,000 they gave us for a set amount, and it's like 6 of us. What we didn't know was they had purchased like the plane tickets for us, which was like $500 a pop for each plane ticket. So pretty much the money is already gone. $3,500, literally already gone. We had to get a rental car when we first got here because my husband's truck hadn't got here yet. So, and we had to end up getting a hotel off post because the one on post was actually booked. If we had actually got a hotel on post, that would have been so helpful because my husband's company is right across the street from the hotel that's on post. But of course, everything was booked. We had to end up getting a hotel off post, which required my husband to get a rental car, which was more money. Not to mention the fact that the hotel is like $157 a night. I'm not working because I left my job to come here, and I'm waiting on my unemployment to go through, being that I had to leave my job for PCS. So I'm waiting for my unemployment to go through. I don't have no money. It was like a struggle. Struggle. Like trying to get food. We was literally living off of Hot Pockets and noodles. No lie. For like a month and a half. Because my husband had to like get a loan about his winter gear. It got to the point where his check was being spent for our hotel stay because with the GT card, we basically had used all the rest of the money, that the credit that we had. So my husband was literally spending money out of pocket for a rental car every day, for a hotel room, and also for food. So we was like flat broke. If it wasn't for one of his friends that helped us, that he knew from Fort Benning, and he had came here a year before we did, he went on leave and ended up letting my husband use his car. So that was 2 weeks that we didn't have to worry about money trying to spend on a rental. Also, he ended up buying us some groceries, so that was like pretty helpful. But if we had have known what we knew now, we never would have honestly got the GTC card. Like, we would have bought our tickets out of pocket, which would have been way cheaper than letting the military purchase it because they bought the tickets to where it was like $500. We were still sitting in the back. It wasn't like we was first class or nothing. Nope. We were still sitting in the back in economy with everybody else with this $500 ticket. If I had known that, this past summer I went to Atlanta to drop my older 3 kids out to see their dad and my youngest to see her grandmother. I got those tickets online for like $200 each. And look how much money I saved versus letting the military pay for those tickets. Like, when I tell you, they had got us with that one, they got us with that one. And now we're in the process of some stuff went wrong with information and everything. And now we're paying that card back. Yes, they are literally taking money out of my husband's paycheck every month to pay that out. So my advice, maybe the GTC card is good for some people, but from me and my friends, the experience that we've had with it, we will never get it again because it literally like put us in debt. We came to Alaska with no debt, and then that card put us on debt, and then we had to use max our credit cards and stuff to basically take care of ourselves, you know, because we had no money because we're literally paying for hotels, paying for rental car, paying for food, all that stuff. People don't really think about that stuff when you're doing a Oconus move. So, and then we lived in a hotel for like a whole month. We lived in a hotel for a month and like 10 days. We had to stay in a hotel. And that was like super stressful because we're all just, even though we had a room to where it was like separate, where you get the kids in one room and the parents is in one, it's the fact that you're in a hotel all day and you really don't have money to like sightsee Alaska because you're broke, because you're spending money on hotels, food to survive. And my husband still needed a way to get to work every day. So I was so thankful when his truck finally came. That was like some money that we could save. So I was glad, and we finally got our car. And I think like December the 14th or 15th is when we finally moved in the house on post. And then with that situation, we got the house, but this was the next problem: no furniture. But the good thing about moving to Fort Wayne, right, they have a place on post. Why, I can't think of the name right now, but you can actually, they actually give you like dishes, give you like mattresses and stuff to keep, blankets and everything until all of your stuff actually come in. So after we moved in the house, I think our furniture came like 2 weeks after that. But it was just the fact of, yeah, we got a nice house on post, but we had like no furniture. You know, the kids was about to go mad because of no technology. Like with no TVs. They had technology but no TVs. So they literally could just watch TV like on their phones, on the iPads and stuff. So I was literally happy to get all my stuff in. So just to say, my experience of my first Oconus move with the military was not a very good one. Me and my husband have learned some things that we will never do again. Has it deterred us from wanting to do it again? You know, probably go to Hawaii or go overseas? To be honest, yes. Because we felt like that move literally just put us in debt. We were actually good financially because I had a job. He, of course, is in the Army, and we had a savings account. We came here, it literally depleted our savings account. And then not to mention, yes, the Army, well, we get paid extra, you know, for being here, but we're paying back that GCC card. So it's as if we're not getting paid the extra. Luckily, after being here for months, I actually found a job to where we could get back financially on our feet. But the fact that this move was so horrible and hit us financially really bad, I personally would not want to do another Oconus move. Maybe later on in my husband's career when his rank is up a little bit higher and we making more money than what we doing now, him as E6, probably so. But at this point in time, after we get finished with this term that we got here in Alaska, we got 2 more years. I'm not trying to come back here, and I'm not trying to go anywhere other than the other 48 states besides Alaska and Hawaii. I'm just trying to go to any other 48 states. I don't care where we go, just as long as we never go Oconus again. I find it very much easy. It's so much better to drive to your destination because honestly, living here in Alaska, the cost of living is extremely high and the cost of travel is extremely high as well. I remember when I was living in North Carolina and I wanted to go back home to Mississippi. Yeah, it was a 10-hour car ride, but at least I was only spending maybe like $150. Now, just to get back home, all of us, is over $2,000 or $3,000 in plane tickets, and that's a round trip. You might as well say $3,000 for a round trip for all of us. So it's a big inconvenience, honestly. I mean, doing Oconus for the experience, it's a wonderful thing, but to me, I feel like it's a big inconvenience financially in most parts. Some people are not at a certain rank to where they're making that type of money, you know, to be able to just go home, have a round trip ticket. Like us, we don't go anywhere on the holidays. The only time we get to leave here is when my kids leave for the summer, and that's because they're gone like the entire summer. Because if it was like a week trip or like a 2-week trip, we wouldn't pay that money to go at all because that's just too much for us. But as far as my experience of dealing with Oconus move, I will never want to do it again. Like I said before, my husband would have to get his rank up maybe a few more years from now, and I may be able to persuade myself to be like, okay, let's just do it for the experience. It's someplace we've never been. Let's do it. But right now, at this moment, my Oconus experience was not good at all. It's a year has passed and we have settled. We are doing better financially, but we still are paying that money back, and we won't be finished paying that money back until next year. Yes, we won't be finished paying it back to next year. And technically, we're not supposed to be paying it back because they're supposed to be paying everything for us. They the one was like, military was like, hey, we want you to move to this destination. We're going to help you. We're going to pay for it. And it did not go that way. As most people in the military life knows, nothing ever goes the way it's supposed to. So I just wanted to explain my experience of an Oconus travel, and it was not a good one. This is only my opinions, nobody else's. I have found that some of the friends that I've made since I've been here has had similar stories and somewhat feel the same way I do. So this is not to push my beliefs of Oconus is bad, don't do it. No. Who don't want to go to another place and experience something new? I'm just saying from my point of view, it was not a good one and I would not want to do it again anytime soon. So I'm hoping that this video just sheds some lights on my own personal, things that happen. Maybe some of you guys have had that happen to you as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great day.